All right, let me hit the got it right there. All righty. Islam, peace and love. How is everyone doing on this lovely Moon Day Monday? Pardon our delay. You know how I get sometimes when you just, get in conversation. You're like, oh, yo, we still got to start. So, we getting started. We here, have no fear. Seven Hill Star is here, so get started. I'm Brother Shinley Mail, and I'm here with my awesome, magnificent bros.
Brother Benjamin Bay, peace, and Islam to you all out there. Happy Egyptian Monday. Is that a good saying to say? In my Moorish white tea?
Namaste. Islam. I am Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at northwest of Mexham. How are you? Islam.
Let's get into it.
We are here for our global effects for the upcoming Leo new moon. So without further introduction, shout out to everyone on TikTok as well. Let me hit the share screen here. Let me hit the phone and cable, and we'll get right into the intro.
So, baby, what are we doing here? It's a zombie moving in and moving in. So, baby, what are we doing here? Yeah. You know I be cycling. I'm Gabriel, steadily I be cycling. It's a zombie moving in and moving in. So, baby, what are we doing here? Body out.
What you doing this sun cycle? I'll be deep in a rabbit hole, no telling where it just might go. I'll be keeping a lot with me in a heart that close. Got a lot in me, thoughts are really like lottery. Pot of gold in my soul, all the wealth of the nations belong to the citizens alone. Hidden in my zone where I roam, hidden in your dome is the seat to the soul, the celestial throne. See, I just can't lie to you. A lot of fools, they want to get inside your mind so they can try to find a way that they can get inside of you. But that ain't how we moving it, grooving it. No, nobles are here to protecting the place. Nobles are here to protecting the place. And since I can only be true to this, I take pride. It behooves you miss to take time to remove the stress and move in bliss. Be fruitful and full of gifts and know within a graceful fruition sits. But listen, it's always competition. Opposition still couldn't stop the vision. Compliment the truth and get back to business because our position is.
This is how we moving in and moving in. So
Hard to not have to do that, yeah.
This is how we moving in and moving in. So baby, what are we doing yeah. You know I be cycling. I'm Gabriel, steadily I be cycling. This is how we moving in and moving in. So baby, what are we doing yeah. Body out. Developmental state.
All righty.
Oh, we hit him with the auto tune.
Shout out to, brother Sign and brother Aura for that great, awesome, magnificent track right there.
Yeah, hilarious. It's funny because I was sitting here and I'm gonna do it. I'm doing like another treatment of that, man. I think that I can, bring out the low end some more in that mix. So I'm gonna go back and touch up a few things on that. But yeah, man, this year, that's the beginning of my project, technically speaking. And according to our beloved brother president, Brother Corey Bay.
What presidents do.
He's like, bro, yo, you and R really go in on that shotgun, delivery. So he's like, man, really, do that. And it's like, no, it's not a bad idea because I know where I'm going with this project. I won't really reveal what the topic is or what the genre is. So it's a clue in that joint though, man. But it's going to be a really fun project. And I got some ideas for features lined up. And really, we're actually waiting on for the we're waiting on that Jaguar soul. That's all I'm gonna say, man. We just waiting on that Jaguar soul. So that's about it for that. But I yield, man, and I appreciate that. It was funny though. The video was hilarious though, man.
It looked like SpongeBob was singing. That's what was the funniest part to me.
Yeah.
It looked like SpongeBob was hitting that. So I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Brother Sean finds the best stuff.
Yo, I'm sitting here like, all right, the whole, Fabo and all, I was like, ugh, that was rough for me, but I was like, you know what, I get it because it's in good humor, you know what I'm saying? And then out of respect, and y'all culture, you know what I'm saying? How Brother Sean came up and his influences artistically and musically. So like that's another thing that I do see in that, because you know how sometimes people be like, oh, look at those Moors, they doing Negro black colored stuff, or they got it in there, injected in with the Moorish stuff and all that. And really what I would think, Brother Sean can correct me if I'm wrong, caveat is this is, this brother's artistic expression with the intent to not, offend, just being able for us to be able to, produce our own music as we're doing, as we've been producing our own videos. We've been producing our own, we've been industrious. However, we're doing it knowingly, we're knowing what we're intending at the goal of it. And so this particular music project that, I'm doing, it's going to be fun. It is. And to have Brother Aura on it, I look forward to featuring Brother Arrow also to really get those styles there, because Brother Aura, he's near the Vegas Corporation, and for us to be able to complete these music projects remotely is just amazing. Because this goes on for me, this is about my seventh year doing online studio sessions. Right. So, basically I just kind of share with people my expectation when they're giving me a flat recording so that I can do what it is that I do. And, my audio treatments and sound font development for the song to be played on any system, anywhere. It could be at a club and you're, I don't expect. Jesus Walks got played in clubs. You won't see me there, but the music may play there. Or it can be on your little sister's boombox. It should still be able to, be the audio equivalent to when you watch a movie and say it's on DVD and you put it on in a DVD player and the screen says this film has been formatted to fit your screen. That's what mastering is technically. However, just to give some visual cognition to audio. However, with that being said, yeah, that's a pretty awesome, it's an awesome video in terms of comedy and then perspective, so I know sometimes, some people will try to look for the negative in what it is that we do when not seeing that it was just some improv comedy, in the video or whatever. So, however, man, it's Intuition Monday. What's interesting about that? It's a Leonine, it's a Leonine new moon, right? So look at that. And then where it's happening for some of us, that have, and anybody that, has any, planetary energies, whatever house cusp is on Leo, whatever house, if it's an intercepted, axis with Leo and Aquarius, then where is that sitting in your chart? So that new moon there is just going to give us this, new start, this new beginning energy, especially when it comes to being creative, right? So to have this music released around these times when these planetary energies are transiting where they're transiting in terms of even our own natal chart, we're just surfing. It's just we're not on a board on water. We're astro-masonically surfing. With that, I yield the floor. Islam.
Islam. Recycling it, knocking it.
There you go.
All right. I think I'm starting it off. I know I'm covering the earth. Brother Benjamin will be covering the fire, placements. Brother Simon will be covering the water. We're all just going to pitch in one for the air signs. So, without further ado, let's get right on into it. So we have the Leo new moon in the Taurus zone. This will be occurring on July 29th, 2022 on the Friday at 0500 hours, 55 minutes and 1 second. So some 5-5 energy, 5-5 energy there for you, right? Occurring at Wanaka, New Zealand. All right. And let's see, on the rise here, we have Gemini at 28 degrees, 58 minutes. And we're looking here for the new moon here. So we've got Luna and Sol conjunct, which is the new moon at 5 degrees, 38 minutes. All righty. So we're getting down with this here. And we also know that at the new moons, the part of fortune and part of spirit will be conjunct here. So, you know, we have all that going on as well. But, you know, when it comes to our, you know, our subconscious, our emotions, you know, the nurturing part of us and how we just express that and how we want to, you know, direct that on the outer, you know, as Brother Hassan was just saying, you know, whatever house, you know, that Leo rules over, whatever, you know, Leo placements that you have, you know, or even if you have, you know, fire, you know, sign placements, you know, because fire signs, you know, trine here. So you'll really be able to, you know, really start looking, you know, finding new modes of creativity here. You know, with this Leo new moon, you know, finding your inner star, you know, and letting that shine, you know, also just some real healing here, you know, coming from, you know, from the childhood, you know, if you were able to create and express yourself, hey, great, you know, this is an opportunity for you to, you know, expound upon that. But if you're really, you know, it's kind of been blocked here, you know, there's a real new opportunity to really let that go. With Mercury, you know, being a final dispositor for this, hey, where is Mercury? Hey, looky, Mercury's in Leo at 18 degrees, 22 minutes in your second house of value. So you're really going to be able to communicate your wants and needs here, you know, really have a look at any habits or values that just not, you know, kind of hindering and behind from what you're used to. And what's the greater part about this new moon? Hey, it's in a trine with Jupiter. So, you know, right there in the 9th house. So there's really going to be opportunity with this new moon to really express and just shine your wisdom. You know, word to Brother Jag, who are you? You know, and if you know yourself, hey, you know, shine that and let it go, you know, and take that harmonious fire energy that you're feeling inside you, you know, whether you're feeling a burn or drive in your stomach, or you're just, you know, getting thoughts and ideas in your head, you know, just really letting this shine, you know, within yourself. And with Jupiter being in the 9th, you know, you're really able to start seeing the veils taken off, you know, able to find the gap between any, you know, what's foreign to you, you know, things that you were not foreign and not used to. Hey, you're able to, you know, start to look at things a different way, you know, and really just be open to trying and learning different things and just different wisdom and texts. And then all you're going to see is, hey, this really resonates. And then also when you look here, you know, we got Venus and, you know, Lilith in a conjunction. So, you know, you're really able to shine your light and overcome what fascination and denials that you have about yourself that you do at home or just, you know, within your groups or your partnerships. And you're really able to really just express that in a light shining way to uplift others, you know, and your story might connect and get to someone that could really, you know, open, you know, unlock the key for them to shine and be them true selves and really just embrace their selfhood because they might not have the confidence to really do it. And, you know, they see you shine your light. It's like, hey, I can shine my light too and not, you know, feel shunned to worry about it. So really just, you know, wrapping up is just, you know, harmonious selfhood and loving energy, you know, really open up your heart. And I will yield for Wanaka. I almost said Wakanda earlier when I looked at it.
Yeah. Hey, yo.
You know, so yeah, you know, new moon tour zone. And you know, you can also, I'm gonna even say, you know, Gemini rising, you know, kind of early here, but you know, just look at your placements here. You know, Leo or what house Leo rules over. You know, there's just some expansive energy going with our emotions and our conscious. All right, and I will yield and let's see. Open. So next will be Brother Benjamin. I yield to you, broski.
All right. So I want to do it for it's in the second house, but I delineated for like the third. Is that cool?
Yeah, bro. Rock on. Rock on.
All right, cool. New moon, Aries zone, July 29th, 2022. This is a Friday. It's a holy day. 300 hours, 55 minutes, and 1 second end time meridian. This is for Pangani. Pangani. On the rise there, just like my brother had, not 29 degrees, but he had Gemini rising. 29 degrees, Gemini, 45 minutes on the rise. And the ruler of that is right next to the king, the sun. Right there, the little purple thing with the cross and the quote-unquote horns there in Leo. And we're going to talk about the sun there at 5 degrees. Leo, 38 minutes, conjunct the moon, same degree, 5 degrees, 38 minutes. And that is the degree of homicides, aviations, and accidents. But don't take those things to heart. Flesh falls every day. That's not to speak mundanely, but as well as new starts, there is a homicidal, energy in that, because you're starting something fresh. You quote unquote homicided the last thing with the full moon, kind of cut it off, and now the new branch has to grow, the new journey has to grow, the new thought. You know what I mean? But getting into it, new moon in Leo ingressed into the third house pertaining to ideas, communications, siblings, and early education. I know you see it in the second, but as far as like whole sign house, it would be Gemini, Cancer, and then Virgo, because Leo is fixed in between the nurturing Cancer and the servicing Virgo. So that's why I'm putting it that way. I get testimony to a rising creative ideas that will be royally spoken via news media. Your favorite TV show can give you an idea that could spark and open up that gateway for you to express those plans that you have, and that can be utilized by the collective, and that skill, and it can keep the integrity intact. Be fixed on this new moon cycle and those things you had near in your heart, despite the turbulence that will always require you to be poised and make adjustments in order for perpetual growth. So basically here just to shine like new ideas, so like we was like talking earlier, about things that inspired us that we see, and kind of being a child again, and that's the best time that the ideas flow, is when you're in like a child state of mind or a dreaming state of mind, and that you shine bright through that idea, because things that children do stand out. Like a child gets inspired by the wildest thing. You're like, oh, my child is this. You're like, how's your child is this? When they're like, the same age, like 4 years old, but their experiences, make them, manifest different things. So right here, just, look out for the little ones to get inspired, and, shine light on those things that you feel in your heart that you want to give to the world, that someone can utilize and be fixed in it, and own it. And I yield for the new moon in third house of communication. Ooh.
Some gratitude indeed, brother Bench. All righty. So I'll get that to butter the sign. We're going to head over to the Pisces zone.
Pisces! Yeah, I know, right? Well, the cycle doesn't end. Right, I know, right? Let's see. So yeah, I was kind of looking at that, man, and really just going over my head, because I was just thinking of the different things to look at, because I enjoy looking at this chart here. And one of the main things I was thinking with this Pisces zone, first thing I'm thinking, okay, Pisces, Jupiter and Neptune, right? For the modern astrological thinker. For those that know anciently also, though, Jupiter always and usually only when given testimonies. However, we can see things further when using the higher octaves, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So in this case, we see at, of course, 5 degrees, 38 minutes for all the testimonies that will be given, because this is where the new moon is taking place, where Luna is Cazimi, every 28 days or so. So with that being said, very interestingly, when it comes to the ascendant and the midheaven, one can see that the ascendant is Venusian ruled, while Saturnianly being ruled is the medium celli, right? The medium coeli, medium celli, right? Midheaven there. So, what I'm looking at too, by mutual reception by terms is Venus and Saturn. That's where I was kind of looking like, that's actually, no, by face, pardon me. They're mutual by face. And so it's like when looking at this nocturnal chart, right, in these presentations, so to speak, the sect ruler and the lesser malefic, so to speak, are in mutual face. So the presentation here and the values given while Venus is on her own terms would really just have me even thinking like, okay, well, hey, look at this. And Saturn is actually the strongest planet in this chart by score. You're speaking, Hellenistically speaking by score. So with that being said, just really even, kind of digging into that, one can see that even though Saturn has its dignity in the 10th, as well as having dignity in Aquarius, it's actually the lesser malefic. So I think even at this time for this particular zone, we're looking at Lamu, Myanmar, all right? So we will see that where the heart and mind are allowing itself to communicate things that are necessary pertaining to home and security, the values there will be on the terms pertaining to that which it would be sufficient, not just only for, overall generic security. However, I think there's going to be some specificity that, is going to be essential to each being within that slice. If we were to look at the earth as an orange that has 12 orange slices within it after peeling back the rind, one can actually see that this particular Pisces slice would have this particular activity taking place from the perspective, however, pertaining to Lamu, Myanmar. So we are going to really allow ourselves not only to, rule over our way that we're communicating about the home, but the way that we're securing ourselves, our early childhood development, and how we're doing old time security, maybe even when it comes to mother and children, being able to really see those values pertaining to the family. So there may be some, planning together. Some children may actually want to grab a broom because they're like, hey, mom, I see you're doing this. I want to do this too, because it seems important, so I can really see with the different things that I've laid out based on what Brother Sean, of course, has sent me in text messages. I know you guys are not seeing it on the screen. However, just to go over and to really look at it, it's just very interesting on this Jupiter day for this particular locale. It's a Mercury hour, which I think is very interesting too, because Mercury is all of about 12 degrees and 44 minutes away from the sun and moon. So therefore, both moon and Mercury are in council with the king. So even when it comes to dispositing for the second house, those values that are being communicated, even when it comes to the fifth house, when communicating it in detail to the children, really, it'll just be best to communicate things from the heart, be sincere, because what will be seen is the children will be able to tell what's really important and what to really pick up on within themselves, really based on how your attitude is as you're expressing those values that you would like for them to be able to appropriate appropriately. And with that, I yield the floor. Islam.
Yes, ma'am. Gratitude indeed, Brother Hassan.
Indeed.
All right, so now we'll have Brother Benjamin to knock out the Aquarius zone for us. And I will yield, Brother Benjamin.
Appreciate that. New moon for this Aquarius zone. Aquarius zone will be ruled by Saturn for July 28th, 2022, Thursday. You got 1,000 hours, you got 55 minutes, and you have 1 second. Post meridian. It's Noitoi for Lahore, Pakistan. All right, on the rise there, 28 degrees Aries, 11 minutes. And look at that, first house of self, where Mars is, even though it's getting help right now, because in Taurus, he's, debilitated.
Oh, you put my man on the pause. Okay, there you go.
Oh, bad. Yeah, but Mars, out of his comfort zone, but he's like inside of his house, but not in the sun, so he's like looking at he's like in town, basically. He's in town, he's like feel comfortable, but he's not in his own conveyance. Conveyance is not fast enough for him. So this Venus conveyance that's, carrying him around town, which would be his first house himself. All right. So even though, Mars may not be in the best place, it being its house, giving him some life. But we're going to slide down here where the new moon is happening, which is the fourth house, the home house, or your native country, if you want to, speak on a higher term of things, you know what I mean? So right here, there could be a new beginning in or a new beginning in life. You could be having a new baby here. That's what I'll say. You could be bringing home a new child, and that could be a very transformative thing happening for your career with Pluto being in the 10th there. So with the new, life being in the house, because, the sun brings life, and without the sun, there is no life. So, within your life, there'll be sometimes quote unquote destruction and transformation. And that destruction part is the rearranging, and when you arrange something, you're kind of destructing it because you're picking it up and you're moving it to a different spot. And this would be pertaining to, your home. So to make your home more comfortable, you got to go step out there and, rearrange some things to make sure that, your little ones are growing prosperly and you can be there, at the beginning of things. So now it's in the beginning, you want to start this journey, or you don't want to start the plans for this new event in the middle of, life, or the middle of this moon cycle. So right now, just take advantage of this new going to require you to restructure your life and your career, because that's what Pluto is going to do. It's a generational planet, so it's going to make sure while it's here that when it leaves, that there's something in place that's going to be, perpetual for everyone to use, and grow. And then I'll yield on that. Make plans now and not later within your home to keep your home in structure and to start your home off, peacefully, and smoothly. Plan ahead, don't plan to fail. I yield.
That's right.
Gratitude indeed, Brother Benjamin. All right, let's gonna keep on rolling. Let's see. All righty. So now we are pulling up to the Capricorn zone for the Leo new moon. Hey, occurring on July 28th, 2022 on the Thursday. That'd be at 9:55:01 p.m. or 2100 hours, 55 minutes. And we are at Triolet Martulius. All right. So on the rise here, we've got Aries still at 2 degrees, 30 minutes. And, being ruled, as my, awesome brother Benjamin just said, the debilitated Mars, with Mars being at Taurus at 15 degrees, 57 minutes. All right. So now we have Luna and Sol here. Sun definitely, naturally rules over the 5th house. So he's like, hey, I'm home. I'm feeling good. And all right. And, with this 5th house, going on for the Marturius area, and surrounding areas, there's going to be like a sense of refreshment here, maybe some, baby showers going on. Or just a future plan, like Brother Benjamin said, like a future planning of the seeds here, like, really taking into account of various ideas, goals, and values, that you want for yourself and also for your little ones here. And so really just putting that energy, putting your heart into, just securing the values. But first, when it comes to securing things, you have to secure yourself first. So there's an opportunity to really, just do some deep healing here. Within your heart, within your mind, within your spirit, soul, whichever term that you would like to call that. And, once you really look within and, start to really, cut these different cords or do these different healing, techniques or yoga or whatever means that you can do to heal and, heal your heart so that now you can expand upon, your self identity here. We look at Jupiter here in the first. All right, making that shrine to your heart and mind. So, there's an expansion going on here, this day as well. Jupiter would be, say Thursday, going retrograde. So, time to really just look at the inner and outer of yourself, not getting your head so much because you're having all these thoughts go on, but you're really able to just start expressing, just your love and joy, because you might have, felt lost for a while, really not knowing or knowing, but really not knowing how to express it. So now you're finding different avenues, of creating, whether you're creating paint, art, anime, doing astrology, writing books, poetry, whatever you do that gets your heart going, pumping and, fluid, you're really able to really come to terms with that and start expressing that light, for others, and just being proud of your work, really shaking off any worries. And now you're really able to start incorporating what you love to do into your daily routine. And I think finally, once again, when it comes back to the values, you're doing things from the heart and not just from a lower self, type of gain, letting your heart, the second brain rule over the mind. And I think I'll yield for that for, the new moon Capricorn zone, really just shining your light, getting creative, expressing, kind of letting go of any ways of creativity not serving you or just not wanting to shine your light. Or, if you already shine your light, hey, what ways can you improve upon that, to help others? And I'll yield. Overnight. All right, so now head back. All right, that's like the brother Benjamin.
For me, baby. All right.
Oh, look at that, the grand cross right there.
Wow.
We got Sagittarius zone here for this new moon, the 28th of July, 2022 to Thursday. We got 600 hours, 55 minutes, 1 second post meridian for Toto, Angola. All right, on the rise, we have 18 Aquarius, 54 minutes. And the ruler of that sign is Saturn, and Saturn is where in the first house itself, conjunct the part of fortune. All right, so whatever is restricting within the self is a restriction for a fortunate reason, So you could have tripped and fell because there was a car coming. See what I'm saying? So now you get to preserve yourself. So fortunately, you tripped, but it was a Capricorn, not a Capricorn. It's a Aquarius ankle issue. It's like, oh man, shoot, you fall over. We'll get into the new moon that is happening in the 6th house, right here in the boys circling that for you right there. And the new moon in Leo now ingress into the 6th house pertaining to service, health, open haters, the Nepal house. I give testimony to creative securing and communicating a new routine that allows the creative self and the collective to transform the way matters pertaining to the heart and the home are operating. Pluto in reflection to the 6th house, stripping the old operations out and implementing a new and firmer foundation. Moon having the score of +1, pertaining to +1 on the essential dignities table, which you guys will see here.
I always freezing up my bro.
My bro froze up.
Man, what always freezing up, bro, man?
What's up?
There you go.
There you go.
Oh yeah, sorry. What's the last thing you guys heard? Before I went DJ quit.
You was out for about 30 seconds.
All right, from the top. New moon in Leo now ingress to the 6th house pertaining to service, health, open haters. In the postal house, because we have a stellium in the 6th house, so that's why I call it the postal house. I give testimony to creativity, to creatively securing and communicating a new routine that allows
Wow.
form the way matters pertaining to the heart and the home are operating. Pluto in reflection to the sixth house, stripping the old patterns of the old operations out and implementing a new and firmer foundation. Moon having a score pertaining to +1 on the Citrus Dignities table, one's emotions and mind can be in the way, but the sun being in his own sign, Leo, with the second highest score pertaining to a +5. The king will be in good headspace to assist the collective in securing and stabilizing home/heart matters for peace, for a peace and life in mind. And I yield. So you need assistance, your brother who will help communicate, who's in a good space to help you, or some quote unquote governmental help. Because the sun is government as well, or governing mind. So whatever governing mind you go to communicate something that is a sixth house matter, you'll get a favorable reply. It would be very homicidal because we would be killing off what you don't need with the sun and moon being at the 5 degrees, 38 minutes of a homicidal degree in accidents and things like that. So you can put a halt to that mentally too. So you want it physically so you don't get in your head. So
Yeah, Islam, they can take that and really, take the opportunity. Well, not say it's a growth opportunity, but take it as a challenge, but not as a bad thing, to really just transmute all of that from, the path that they want to get to with the thoughts they're having on ways to break through, with what makes them comfortable, really shine a light on what makes you comfortable. Hey, what's the mystery behind it? All right, now I'm starting to see the true values of not only myself, but all those around me. So that now you can start to be this humanitarian mind state while reflecting on, once again, what makes you comfortable and what doesn't make you uncomfortable. You look at it, you got these squares going on and you got the two oppositions. Hey, just a deep reflecting opportunity, woof. Yo. And then move that. That's Brother Hassan. I will yield to the bros.
All righty, Islam. So this is the Scorpio zone, of course. All righty, and we have Capricorn on the rise being ruled by Saturn. Of course, Saturn's there in the first. All right, conjunct the second house cusp just about, looks like 45 arc minutes, 40 arc minutes off of it. Actually, interestingly too, Brother Benjamin brought up the stellium, which is now in the seventh house there. And it's just really some subconscious communications that really hit the heart, seemingly coming out of nowhere. It was in the sixth house for Brother Benjamin's previous testimony. Now you see it there at the seventh. And it's interesting for the Scorpio zone there for that entire slice pertaining to Midgard, Earth Plane, Asha. For this particular area, what I see of this particular slice, and this is actually pertaining to Duabo, Liberia. All right. So for you all out there, shout out to all of you there. Assalamu alaikum. Duabo, Liberia. Right. So with that being said, interestingly, the conditions that Saturn is under, Saturn is the champion, right? Scores at a 9, because Saturn's in the sign that it rules, it's in its own triplicity, and it's in mutual reception by face with the moon, as I said before. So right now it's at a +9. Previously on what I did for the Pisces zone, it's only at a +6. All righty. However, we're looking here now to see where it is as far as that concerned, because really with that Pisces zone, it just was, it wasn't in its own triplicity like it is now. All righty. So with that being said, we're seeing here, this is a setting. Brother Benjamin gave it to you after the sun and moon set, so to speak, from that perspective. There's from the perspective there for what Brother Benjamin gave testimony for. that would be happening is after sunset. So now for the Scorpio zone, it's just like before sunset, as you guys can see, it being there in the 7th house, where it'll be a Luna, Sun, and Mercury set, of course, with Mercury being an evening star position. What we're seeing here, guys, however, let's just go off of the fact that, first of all, it's being ruled by the zone of Scorpio. So it's a Martian ruled area. Mars there, not feeling so great, so to speak. Mars actually has the lowest score. It has a -10. It has no dignity, and it's in a sign that, it doesn't feel so great in. However, the beauty in Mars being there in the Pisces zone, it was in highs. So it was in some pretty awesome conditions, it all being nocturnal. However, Mars' condition, it's in a daytime chart. If it was in a nocturnal chart, it would be in high. So it's not exponentione, so it's not out of condition. However, with us really looking to, when it comes to the home, and when it also comes, to not only the home, but maybe even someone else's children in the home, like what would be best to go about how to do things is really think about yourself, really reflect on yourself. Really think about, especially with Chiron in Aries, even though it's in the 3rd, the communications that are necessary that could actually really heal some people. Be that voice pertaining to reason that you needed when it was you in that compromising situation. Even though no one came to your rescue in that moment, you see someone else having, a moment where you could actually intervene, where you can intercede on their behalf, possibly even without harming yourself. Alrighty. So when it comes to, a subconscious communication that just kind of hits your heart, or just really coming from the heart spur of the moment, for you Scorpio zoners there with, when it comes to that active nature there in the 4th house, you're really finding some transformative ways in how you're going to go about things, because normally where you would probably be angry or violent or short in your response, you may find yourself having a little more patience than you even expected with a situation that is, possibly a little charged, like turned up, So with that being said, not only is Saturn ruling, the first rule and the second, so so guys, Saturn went retrograde within the astrological area. Alrighty. So with that being said, once Saturn has completed its retrograde, I think it's like 9 days before All Saints Day, the 23rd October 2022, Saturn is direct. About 7 minutes after midnight, Saturn is stationed direct. And what you guys will see, there's this pullback that's actually occurring. You guys are going to see a propulsion in astrology really shooting off there. I know Seven Hill Star Astrology Firm has done a lot of sharing. And what we're going to even see for ourselves is a fluctuation in moving forward, and people really, and this is what I'm saying, you guys will be able to see, we've put out there for a couple of years now, that you guys can, not just trust us, you can trust yourself to make the competent decision in making sure you're getting anything pertaining to astrology from Seven Hill Star. Because what it is that we're doing, we're really moving forward with what Prophet Noble Ali has given. And, we're not doing it in a dogmatic fashion to make, people be converted into anything other than them studying themselves and really loving yourself, all right, by knowing yourself and not allowing anyone on the outside to, allow you to be able to be pushed away from getting what it is that you needed. So you could also maybe, if that inner child wanted to be able to grasp something or get something for itself, you couldn't have done it when you were in a youthful body. Now that you are in a grown body and mind and can make the decision now to make a much more nurturing decision for your inner child, have your astrology completed by the certified professional astrologist at 7hillstar.com. So with that being said, I yieldeth the floor. Islam.
Islam and gratitude indeed, Brother Hassan. All right, so for Guabo, Liberia, there you go. All right, so let me hit that, and now we're gonna put it on back. All right, we in the Libra zone. We in the Libra zone. All right, so at the Libra zone, this is July 28th, 2022, Kusei Kwa calendar. All right, for the Thursday, occurring at 2:55:01 post meridian. All righty, and we're at Call, French Ghana. All righty, so thought for the all righty, so we have Sagittarius on the rise at 12 degrees, 42 minutes. So I'm looking at that. All righty, so let's see, we got that. We know that's ruled by Guru, Jupiter, and he's at 8 degrees, 43 minutes in the 4th house. And we have Sol and Luna here, 5 degrees, 38 minutes in the 8th house. You know, that's still being, ruled overall, despising through Luna here. All right, so when it comes to this new moon, this energy, and this is a really time to, hey, put, if you've been having projects about how you want to do something for your home, whether you want to make some additions to it or, buy some new things or kind of spring clean it, either type of those ways, hey, this is your sign or this is your time to really, start to implement that, cleaning out the house and, moving things around to not only, strengthen up that root chakra area, but really, get the shine on in your house, right? If you wanted to, buy those rope lights or, just something to beautify it here, with this energy, because, we still got Venus there and the 8th as well. So really just enjoying yourself and just, putting forth the energies to really, shapeshift the home and, be creative so that not only that you're feeling secure in your home, but you're also loving how it looks, appreciating those materials, right? And, with Jupiter there in the 4th as well, it's like, hey, putting up some posters, setting up that bookshelf, really, I'm saying bookshelves and all of that, but, really just, like I said, beautifying the home here, taking what whether it's, you're studying carpentry or, even, trying to think of it, even doing concrete, laying out some concrete or some rocks, whatever here that you can really beautify your home with. Setting up a schedule, to learn and teach the little ones, whether it's by yourself or, you come across someone that can really, be a great teacher to assist not only you, but your little ones as well here. And, with Venus here and the 8th, it's really, embracing the lower self, knowing lower self. And now that you have did that, now that you really understand and connected to who you are, the home is and what you want for the home, you can really express that and not let those fears, worries, and anxieties of, the shadow really bother you, because now, hey, I'm operating from the heart. Now I can take these, worries and energies and these lower selves and these, different kind of thoughts and really transmute that into just pure love and something much higher and bigger than me. And when Jupiter, ruling the 4th and the 1st, there's going to be a real, some talks and conversations had here about, just how you move about things, or, you might have that talk like, hey, I've been, studying this, doing this, and, you really start to teach from that and, be that. Just letting the light of things shine in the home here. and just communicating some foreign knowledge, some higher learning wisdom degrees that they might have not gotten ever heard of, so you're really able to, shine that light. I think that was the previous Intuition Monday intro. Shine, dun, dun. Get your shine out here, and yeah, man, and just really, know who you are, understand what things are, and start finding ways to connect and merge with yourself. And now you're understanding self, and you can start to do that with others. And now this healing comes, and with that, and I'll yield for Carl French Guana here, in the Libra zone for the Leo new moon here. All right, I'm gonna get next into. I think it's back on me again. All right. So now we are in the Virgo zone. We in the Virgo zone. Hey, pulling up Boca Raton.
That's what Virgo going, baby. That made me think of that Kawhi Leonard meme he made. So baby.
Hey, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey, baby. We in the new moon. We in the Virgo zone. Hey, baby, in Boca Raton. You know what I'm saying? Not a stain on me like my name Big Tone. Whoa, MC Master Ceremony with that flow.
Braveheart bars.
With some Brother Corey sprinkles.
Yes, I like a Braveheart bar Sunday with the Brother Corey sprinkles.
Oh, coming right up to you. Would you like a side of that haterade juice for your haters out there by Brother Benjamin?
Here's the kidney. Haterade is specific for the kidneys.
It's bad for the kidneys.
Yeah, it secures the kidneys. It nurtures the kidneys.
It nurtures the kidneys.
Haterade nurtures the kidneys.
Okay, so a haterade when ingested, when one imbibes the haterade, they are now repelling hate. Is that what you're saying?
Indeed.
Gosh.
It's like roach raid, you know what I mean?
Hey, yo, we just wow, goodness gracious. So we don't spray it on a hater. Pause. Yo, we don't squirt it on a hater. Pause. With that, right?
So we don't spray it on it. No.
Right.
I think it's illegal in restaurants or something. Maybe most restaurants, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we can't R. Kelly this. I'm kidding. Anyway, I'm gonna piss on it. Anyway, I yield.
Yeah, ironically, he was using scorpion. Never mind.
Yeah, yo, our improv is so turned up, bro. Like, goodness gracious, man. That's that won't shit right there. That don't.
No.
Is it? Am I not? Is that it?
Am I not?
Am I not?
You gotta really saying that without the interrogative tone. It's not so easy. All right, we just totally went on a tangent. I yield.
Sorry, Brother Sean. Appreciate your patience, bro.
Yes, Virgo zone.
Oh, okay. Ooh. No, it started with me. I started off. And then boom. All right. So Virgo zone. Hey, I gotta say the bar again. We in Boca Raton. Ascendant is at Scorpio. Alrighty, 9 degrees 56 minutes, and that's ruled by Mars. It's not feeling real good, but that's okay, because we're here to talk about the moon and sun anyway. All right, yeah. My rockin' boy's voice. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right, so yeah, we've got Sol and Luna and the 9th house. So hashtag God House Eating word to Brother Benjamin Bay. Sun's definitely feeling strong and great. Getting his Popeye flex on, if you might like to say. All right, so that Scorpio there. So ninth house here, for the Boca Raton, Florida areas, so for the, quote unquote, East Coast there of the, Northwest of Mexican, folks might say United States of America, like Cuba, Jamaica, and all that, hey, this is current in your ninth house here. So this is an opportunity for, for the adepts, spiritual adepts, authors, scholars, hey, they're going to be really shining, some knowledge or their literature about, just the higher learning and some true philosophy, really bringing some light to law religion, showing that they're, hey, just like the sun and moon right now, there's no separation between law and religion. It is all one. This is some divine and national movement energy here, honors the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And also for those who, don't study, hey, you could be, taking you a long journey here. This is like the opportunity for someone that might have just got, accepted to a, foreign, university. Hey, maybe they applied to go to school outside of where they're usually from. And they just get news or making plans to do that here, with this energy and, or maybe they could just be having someone visit them from, a foreign university, inviting them to the home, or they're, kind of about to get ready to go back to school. So it's like, hey, come by, and, with Jupiter right there in the fifth, making that trine too. Sol and Luna here in the fifth house. So, hey, Jupiter's ruling over that fifth house energy and also the second house energy. So there's just some creative values really, being put into things and, communicated, or really just taking what you've known at the home and you study others, or just things you've been studying that you truly value, and really find ways to communicate that and put that down into paper and communications to express that, whether you're, doing a business or, small business, entrepreneurship, whatever you like to do, creator, teacher, whatever you're doing here that's coming from the heart, there's really a ways and means to, take your values and not let your values, get the best of you, but do it in a higher shining light here and express that in a loving way because it's on your mind and emotions. So, just have that talk. And if you need to talk to someone else, hey, do that. It could be your woman, your consort, or mother, grandmother, or just someone that you might not have actually went to and thought about before. You can really go and have this conversation, and she could really give you some gems. And then your Lilith, the shadow side, whatever you want to call it, is like, hey, just have this conversation that you might have been avoided, or like I said, might have been avoided, and now you're really having this, and now you're kind of having like this bliss loving moment, and it's like now you're setting plans to do something for yourself and your little ones, and now you're operating from your heart and not operating from the lower self, but still having control over lower self, and now you're communicating that for your career or just something long term that you value. And now you're in partnerships, you're discussing values in partnerships, and now you're like all the parts of the apparatus, you're working towards the higher cause for one, so that you can really have this breakthrough and get uncomfortable to get comfortable, chasing after your values and getting secure. And I will yield for this for Boca Raton, Florida, and just the surrounding areas of the East Coast, man, just really letting things shine and speaking from the heart. And, getting some new deals or promotions, or really just, being open to work with others and having some talks with some mothers and women, or just within yourself, and not burying, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, because they're only going to come back. So, if you let them out and deal with them, now you can really move forward. I'll yield and get to the next one. Show. This will be Brother Benjamin. So I guess Brother San will have the last two. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Back to the Leo zone. Brother Benjamin, so you were in the Leo zone.
All right. New moon in this Leo zone. King rulership here. For July 28th, 2022, Thor's Day. We got 1000 hours, 55 minutes, 1 second. That 55 minutes, 1 second is extremely consistent. Anti-meridian, early. This is for Spokane, Washington. All right, on the rise here, we have 5 degrees Libra, 41 minutes. And that ruler is same place that the new moon is happening. 10th house, transit career. They're next to Lillian, with my brother circling. 12 degrees Cancer, 55 minutes. And we are here to speak about this new moon. With the sun and the moon, you know, locking arms if they had arms, you know what I mean? And we'll get into it. New moon in Leo ingress into the 10th house pertaining to your career, how the world perceives you, the authorities, the governing minds, or one may say the government, fame. I give testimony on possible promotion at the job or being put on a pedestal for the work that in prior moon cycles. Use this moment to seek new ways to keep this elevation on the upside pertaining to things, beginning a completely new way to bring your means to an end. And under this new avenue, you feel like all eyes are on you now. But a level ego will allow you to conquer this feeling and bring that justified light that the sun emits. You know, so basically, you know, don't get the big head, you know, and don't get discouraged because nothing has quote unquote transpired yet. Because, you know, all journeys that start, you don't have any experience, so you don't have anything to quote unquote compare to, you know, to keep getting inspired to go along. So in the beginning of something, your inspiration is, you know, it's bliss. It's like looking out into the sky at nighttime. You know, it's stars out there, but you can't see them. You know, it's kind of like the beginning of the journey. Like, okay, I know that I embarked on this, and there is an end to this, but I just don't know it just yet. You know, and until it happens, you know, until you see that sparkle of light out there, you know, like, oh, what was that? All right, cool. So you write down that time, and maybe, you know, you come out there again, and you see the same light, and so the same thing happens, you know, in 10,000 things, you know. Whatever these experiences that happen that, you know, allow you to show the Leo, you know, in you, you know, the pride, integrity, the courage, you know, the stability to create and stand out, but not, you know, quote unquote, burn the situation, you know, or be too much of, or trying to be too much or do too much, you know, just what to do. Like the sun isn't out all day, you know, it's extremely hot as hell for a period of time. So, you know, do what you need to do, and, you know, and get going. And I'll yield on that. You know, it's on for the new one and 10th.
That's one. Get that. I will yield to her sign.
It's funny that a Leo did the Leo zone and a Cancer did the Cancer zone. And then the Virgo did the Virgo zone.
I know, right? Pretty cool. I'm memeing it up right now in the Instagram stories, man. Sunflowers have blossomed. We you know, noticed that after a storm, the garden really thrives after a thunderstorm. So
about the storm right now.
Yeah, man, like just seeing a lot of things blossom and grow. It's a lot of life, you know what I mean? So that's just kind of what I'm meaning right now. With that being said, hey, look, we're here in the Cancer zone, right? Speaking about nurturing, right? And nursing, right? When referring to gardens, so to speak. With that being said, let me finish this here. You know, add the music a little later. With that being said, guys, let me actually go and just look briefly at that Cancer zone real quick that Brother Sean had sent. With the Cancer zone, guys, what I'm recognizing here, you know, Mercury's, you know, ruling from the 12th while in council with the king still, you know, Mercury still combusts 12 degrees, 44 minutes away, yet it's ruling the medium Celli and the ascendant. So when we go about doing these things and things we want to communicate, some of you all may kind of maybe feel a little unheard in the details and that you be explaining. So you're gonna have to be creative in how you stand when you go to present yourself. All righty. So, and that creativity will actually turn out in a fortuitous way where you'll be able to probably have some assistance, you know, where you may find that you don't have the words to speak, right? Like, it's interesting in saying you don't have the words to speak, or you're trying to say something, you know, and it's not coming across, and the lawnmower, the landscapers are outside mowing the lawn, and it's it's like I'm just, yeah, as like it's going by or whatever, right? So anyway, that's just interesting, right? And I'm speaking about Virgo, right, which is very earth, you know, and then there's lawn mowing going on out there. So that's, you know, like taking care of the hair of the planet. So the yard's getting a haircut. I guess it could be looked at like that. Earth's getting a haircut when you're mowing the lawn, right?
A little fade.
Yeah, a little fade, a little shape up when they take the weed whacker and turn it sideways. And
yeah, a little line up.
Yeah, give it a little line up. You know what I mean? A little Beijing with the fresh mulch. You know what I'm saying? Stop.
The fresh mulch. Islam. The earth Beijing.
Yo. Yo. All right.
Can't do Mama Earth like that.
I don't want anyone in the National Council for Geocosmic Research, Annapolis, to say we're goofing off like we owe them allegiance or some bullshit. But anyway, shout out to our haters, man. You guys believe in us more than the lovers do. So anyway, with
you learn how to have fun.
I know, right?
Let it out.
You got hate in your heart. Let it out.
Let it out.
You want to see my face? Who said that? You want to see my face?
Where is he?
I'm sorry, Mama Sean. That video is classic, bro. Jesus Christ. Like, yo, that is a classic video here, bro. All right, so let me continue in this. Like, yeah, man, so this is the Cancer zone. Of course, Luna's ruling it. So look at this. Luna's ruling the zone. Mercury's ruling the ascendant and the medium Celli, right? And now we're really like, hey, they're both in council with the king. So the sun is ruling the first house, the 12th house, the 11th house, and the 10th house. So that whole quadrant there, all righty, is under sun's purview, all righty, because Mercury's combust, all righty. So with that being said, the qualities when it comes to, you know, serving yourself, the means to be able to stand accordingly with things you want to say, you just may have to be able to take some assistance there for you all that are near Kodiak Island, Alaska. All righty. So you may find yourselves, who knows, you know, it's, you know, land of the midnight sun time, right? So, you know, it's still, the sun's out at midnight. All righty here. All righty. So, you know, is it after sunrise? You know,
yeah, I think it's a account on TikTok where they'll show 10 p.m. and it's look like 12 p.m. here. Say like 6 day and 6 months of night. As far as light goes, 6 months of light and then 6 months of the day. So kind of, I don't know.
No, I'm just listening. I'm just saying. I was about to just ask you. Wasn't like, yeah, I think it is like in certain parts. There's some Moors. There are some Moors that are there. Moors that are near.
I would say not the country wisdom, but to add to it, the Moabite mother. She's a fair skin, but you can tell she's a Moabite mother. But she's the one explaining this. So yeah, there's Moors out there that's, you know, of this 10 and live during the 10 p.m. and it's daylight. Kind of wild on the melatonin in your brain. That's what I would think about it. As far as like, how would you just operate? You know,
they have to damn near get like moving blanket quality type curtains to regulate their circadian rhythm. So they gotta literally block out the sun during those times in order to get that rest. For those that may have to do that, some people just be like, I don't give a damn. Sun's up or down, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. However, this is happening in the 11th house, right? So the sun doesn't have the dignity that it would have in the 5th. So interestingly, guys, when it comes to the values and how you're standing, I'm just really saying that Jupiter is going to come to the rescue here. And you're going to have some joint accounting when it comes to someone being able to feel what you're going through. All righty. And they'll be able to, you know, be the hooper intojando, the interceder on your behalf. And, you know, you may find, let's say, for example, I don't promote slavery. So let's say there's a gig you're getting into. I was about to say a job interview, but that would be me promoting slavery. Let's say there's a gig, or let's not even say gig. Let's say you would like to exchange your time for compensation. And then you exchange your time for that compensation. There's an interview for you to commit that said subcontractual pursuit. So with that being said, you find that you're going to be late. And as you see that you went to go maybe run for the bus or something, and someone actually saw you miss that bus, but they see that you're like, there's a vibration coming off of you, they're going to give you a lift and they're not going to charge you. They're probably going to give you some real helpful words that, may seem like, man, what the fuck are they talking about? And it's going to click when you walk through the door of where you got to be. It's like, holy fucking shit, was that a guardian angel? Like, then it's going to click then, so that's really kind of how I'm seeing this for this particular Cancer zone, with the moon ruling the zone. And when it comes to the particular way that things are going to play out and how the status is pertaining to this, ruled by Mercury, both being in council with the King Jupiter there in the 8th in Aries, is, going to really kind of be that, kind of that guardian angel feel. It's you couldn't plan it if you wanted to, so, and you can't plan it if you wanted to. But anyway, with that being said, allow yourself to accept the assistance that's going to happen here, because there are going to be people that are going to assist you, and it might be someone with their child. And you're like, God dang, man, these people picking me up, they got their children in the wheel. Actually got me to my destination. Like, that's love. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of kindness is on the table. All righty. So with that being said, I'm going to yield the floor. I think I am going to do the last air sign zone, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed.
Ooh. Gemini zone, right? Interessante, pertaining to said Gemini zone, said Geminian zone. Alrighty, this is Moor, Cook Islands. Alrighty, now we can actually see here that Sol is ruling the ascendant here. It's all going down. We got part of spirit, part of fortune, ascendant, and moon. It's just one big party going on. Really, goodness gracious. Regulus is even in on it in the first house. Like, goodness gracious. So, hey, check this out. Guys, you guys are going to really start recognizing those people that you're either going to see the humanity in the celebrity, or you're going to see the celebrity in a humanitarian. That's the only way that I can really, look at it like that. You see what I'm saying? You're either going to see the humanitarian within a celebrity, or the supposed fame and nobility, quote unquote, in a humanitarian. In this sense, what you'll be able to do is isolate what you thought about someone, what may be popularized about someone. However, you'll be able to gain for yourself a perspective where you're like, oh, I get it. Ike Turner wasn't the one, really the abusive one. It was Tina the whole time. It's just the narrative that was put out there. I know, right? That made you go right. But I know I was speaking with the Mother Oracle one day, Brother Benjamin, and she was like, yeah, man, a lot of people don't really recognize that, you know, Ike Turner caught the rap for a hothead woman. Like, and I was like, you know what? That's gonna make me look at her chart. I think we're gonna look at Tina Turner's chart and analyze Anime Bullock and stuff. Right? Because we gotta admit, like Lawrence Fishburne, you know, depicted someone who we didn't witness. We didn't witness both of these stories at all. You know what I mean? We have to recognize that these are entertainers and there was something put out there that we didn't witness. However, at the end of the day, when analyzing certain things and when coming across certain people that have certain intel, and you're like, and you know certain people that may know certain children pertaining to these people, and you're like, that's an interesting perspective. It's like, okay, so moments when you think Ike is just pulling Tina and just, come on, girl, take your ass in this house, and just like, oh, he's so mean. It might have been a perspective where, you know, maybe he didn't want to get in trouble for a hothead woman. Going off. I'm trying to tell you, man, I done heard some interesting perspectives. I was thinking to myself, that actually makes sense though, because usually people that come to the light really had to go through the mud, right? So the last thing I'm going to say about this particular new moon Gemini zone, right? Mercury's ruling the zone, Sun's ruling the ascendant, Venus, goodness gracious, Venus in the 11th. Ah, man, that's a good place. Really good place. Sextile by sign from the midheaven, however, 2 houses away. So kind of has this secondary dignity there, right? And definitely Mercury ruling not only the zone, but however, Venus's placement also ruling the second house, interestingly so, right? So make sure the way that the values are going to be communicated is really in the actions that are sincerely given. So the sincerity here, the values that will be expressed won't be spoken as much. However, they'll be heard loudly and or seen clearly like a blaring neon sign when you do the action, and then someone's observing like, dang, yo, like this being here is sincerely doing this task without really looking for a reward, so to speak. So that way you'll be able to see if it's someone who people have never looked up to, but they see the consistency in the humanitarian expression, then now that being, unbeknownst to them, have now become some form of figure to look up to in life, quote unquote celebrity, and or a certain celebrity will be looked at as a certain humanitarian due to the fact because the image pertaining to their artwork may be put out a certain way. However, when you actually check the receipts on things that they're doing actively in their life and to people in the community, you'll go, wow, really? I had no idea that, you know, this guy was such a fucking saint. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for example, you seeing Kodak Black has a charity for like foster children or something and trying to keep them from being federal agents within the foster care agency thing. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that's actually what it is, but it's something like that. You know what I mean? That's like Too Short is now the manager of House of Ruth. Do you get like it would be that type of energy? It's like Don Magic Wand sincerely has a nunnery. Like that kind of, oh, he is a bishop. No, I'm just saying, I mean, what you would think would be pimping type energy, you would actually see like, whoa, this guy isn't that image that people, you know what I mean? Maybe he has totally sojourned that frequency and now has, you know, graduated and ascended to something much higher, right? A Mori cooked island type energy, right? Interesting, Mori. You are the process, right? Anyway, right? Belief, you are only the process to a certain extent until faith comes in, and that's only sufficient until fruition is nigh. Now, with that being said, I'm going to yield the floor from this grand square of events that's taking place here. Interestingly, it's kind of between Saturn and the nodes, you know, and some portion of spirit at times, but it's wherever Leo was and some of the things that we saw. The grand square was there the whole time lurking, but it's really strong in that one you pointed out, Brother Sean. All right.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty much it'd be like, yeah, Uranus and South Node reflect in like a kind of like a Saturnian like spirit and fortune. Possibly if you want to throw Mercury in there, opposition, reflection, with the Uranus North Node kind of like squaring you know, Mercury, and then Mercury making a square to the South Node, you know, so forth. So yeah, it was really like a you know, just to not repress things and kind of just let it flow. There's like this, how you said, like this bow being pulled back, you know, this energy, this battery kind of like being charged. So really just finding ways to, you know, trust ourselves, express from the heart, and really just you know, really just let things go in a harmonious way, you know, and, you know, congratulating others, you know, really just cheering and, you know, just, you know, being our own role models, you know, as you told me before in, you know, one of my memory session, you know, with my Mars and Libra, you know, it's kind of being the justice and love that we want to see, and just looking, you know, quoting Prophet Noble Jolie, look for the best of others and give the best that's in ourselves.
That's long. That's long.
Yeah, no, yeah. You know,
Well,
gratitude indeed for my bros, man.
That's long. I appreciate you, man. Thank you guys for inviting me again. You know, I'm going to get to do after I do this meeting. I'm just really turned up. You know, because I had to respect some things astrologically, take a break, learn how to relax. Like I'm kind of taking a year off, but I'm not. I'm staying active. I'm just not as intense because, you know, I must absorb my loved ones accordingly, right? And appropriately and affectionately. So that being said, just growing. That's it. Growth in all areas, so to speak, right? Just growth. So with that being said, I'm gonna finish this blossoming sunflower post here and kind of get into that. Any other questions, comments, and/or suggestions from my beloved brothers in whom I'm well pleased? Going once.
Let's see. I guess I can say this now, and I can just screen record this later. But I will be offering a Jupiter retrograde grounding that will go from July 28th, 2022 until February 14th, 2023. So this will cover the Jupiter being in his, you know, retrograde phase, and also when it goes out of shadow. So with this grounding, you know, it'd be in lieu of 9 notes for this period. And it's just, you know, grounding you, keeping you inside your body, and also bringing, you know, some higher learning and grounding energies to new and past information, balancing the need for freedom with practicality and discipline, healing to the limited beliefs and, you know, the energies and cores that has hindered us, valuing self and traditions, and just innerly and on inside and outwardly, becoming comfortable with self-authority and our wisdom, expanding our inner abundance and wisdom, expanding self-leadership and our courage and clarity to self and approach to life. So these are some various things that this light grounding energy that we'll work on from July 28th to February 14th. Because for the most part, Jupiter will be in Aries, but during the shadow, he will be, when he leaves that post-retrograde shadow, he'll be, back in Pisces. So just these different energies to, pretty much two parts for this. And then finally, there will be a Leo new moon, get your shine on energetic cleanse. This will occur Thursday for the new moon. So this, get your shine on cleanse will be removing selfhood perceptions and emotions that hinder self-confidence. Will also be healing our inner child. All right, removing projections from others that has caused the imposter syndrome. Boosting our inner light and beauty so that we can, feel deeply and love ourselves more and truly be comfortable in our body. Removing toxic patterns, thoughts, and vibrations about self-love towards others, and just becoming more compassionate. And I'm gonna talk to you about, but there's various more things that really, go into this cleanse. So that will be, once again, in lieu of 9 notes, just a one-time thing. And the grounding, Jupiter retrograde, like I said, was in lieu of 9 notes, one-time thing. From July 28th, 2022 until February 14th. And I'll be up for that. And besides that, yeah, I got some other things I'm working on. So, not really saying, but my bros know, what's going on. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll add to the YouTube chat, Islam to JL. Islam for his love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Peace and love, no. So thanks for participating, bro.
Yes, in the chat. I didn't go on YouTube yet at all, man. I haven't. But doing a lot of post-production things, though, I will.
This is Intuition Monday. We gotta money stats.
Yeah,
as far as that other thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, JL. Always,
he's always in the chat.
In the crowd, for sure.
Yeah, always.
We get some backstage passes or something.
Yeah, I know, right?
When the meet and greet,
green room on the Zoom, you know what I mean? Like, seriously. Seriously. That being said, I yield, bro. It's on you, brother Sean. You're the host, bro. I yield.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I am. All right. We want to say thank you. Peace and love to you all. Those all on the Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikToks. We thank you all. Instagram. Shout out to my bros, Brother Benjamin, Brother Sign, Brother Corey, Brother Jag. And thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, Moon Day, Intuition Day, and catch us back Wednesday for the Astro Weather Report. And you already know, go to 7hillstar.com, like and subscribe. 7 Hillstar, all rights reserved on YouTube. And we, 7 Hillstar, we are out. Peace and love. Thank you to you all. And like, share, and donates.